no big little legs. Skinny kid with plenty.
Yo, what's up, YouTube? It's ZTAY, aka Lil Red. We got something special, and for the Suns fans, because it is why Devin Booker is the best shooting guard in the NBA.
Now,
Let's get into it. By Hoop Mastery, shout out Hoop Mastery. Never
and all the
watched them, but
plays in the
let's
NBA,
get into it.
But when you watch Devin Booker, you get to see a quiet assassin.
I'm not gonna lie. First off, disclaimer before we get started. I've been watching D'Angelo Russell and Devin Booker's podcast. If you haven't checked that out, I'll put it in the comments, or I'll put it at the end of the video. Why not link somebody else? Shout out to D'Lo, my favorite player in the Lakers. I'll link his video, man. I think we got like the same amount of subscribers, so love you, D'Lo. But it made me respect Devin Booker a lot more, bro.
He's not
like
a
lot
assassin.
more.
It's because with Booker, his scoring
it's just
isn't
on the
necessarily
Suns,
loud
you know?
like a flashy
I don't like the
Kyrie
Suns just
Irving
because of
or
those Steve
high-flying
Nash days.
Edwards, but D-Book himself gets straight to work and can pick apart your defense in the most simplistic way possible. I understand people like to stray away from admitting it, but Devin Booker is arguably the best two guard in the league. Now wait one second, don't think that I'm some Devin Booker super fan or anything, but when you look at the game of basketball from a pure skill standpoint, D-Book gives you everything you would want from a two guard and makes NBA defenses look like easy work when he's out there operating.
Yeah, exactly what he just said. Everything you want from a two guard. He is the perfect shooting guard, bro.
When looking at a breakdown of his scoring areas,
I love it.
If you want him to go get a bucket inside off his own creation, well, on his 250 attempts on all driving layups and shots, Booker converted 55% of these.
Damn,
let's say
that's
he wants
really
to get
effective.
to that in-between range and light you up. Well, on 378 shots this past season, Book knocked these down at a
I want to know what his elbow jumper percentage is.
48% rate. And if he decides he wants to opt into a long-distance relationship, will him and the rim still maintain a healthy dynamic, connecting on 36% of his 6 phone calls a game. Now, I can't stress it.
That's his one weakness, but at the same time, it's not really a weakness. Two guards like Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, those are the best in the world. You know, they haven't really had the highest percentage threes because they have a high volume. DB takes 6 a game and only shoots 36%. If there's one thing I want to see from Devin Booker, is get better at that. But also at the same time, he's so effective when he gets to the elbows that keep doing what works. You know, don't force the three. Not saying he needs to take more.
Effectively. When your team calls your number, you must be able to deliver from anywhere on the floor. And with D-Book, not only can he do that, but he can do it in a simple way, which doesn't interrupt the flow of the offense.
Yeah,
you'll see defenders guard Booker up high to stop him from coming up the floor for the handoff, but now they leave open his pass over the top for Book to receive. And with Jaren Jackson sliding over, the immediate pull-up is right on cue.
Oh, yeah, that pull-up's nasty.
Defenders do tend to do this a lot when guarding Devin due to his scoring.
See, a lot of people could beat players with the pass right there, you know, when the weak side comes, skip. But Devin Booker is one of the few players that could beat that thing with a pull-up. I think SGA is another player that can do that too. Kevin Durant.
But little do they know they're only making it easier for him as these cuts to the basket become wide open for him to exploit. Now there are those times where he's able to break free from the defender to then run them off a screen, and this is where he takes what the defense gives and rises up from 17 feet over a lazy Ayton. Trust me, it's extremely key that defenders stay attached to D-Book and not lose track of him, because here when the thinks someone else is going to tag up,
that's just zone defense, bro. I believe, right?
He ends up allowing Booker to flow right into that short corner.
Oh, no, it's not. Sorry. It's not zone defense, Jay. Coro messed up.
Uncovered, and this right here is just automatic.
I like how he floats to the mid instead of the three.
Spurs, Booker has many options when coming up the floor.
Ooh.
If he's in the mindset to shoot, then this pull-up right here is wide open for him to take. But since his focus isn't on the shot, Booker puts the ball on the deck, which opens up 2 options. Since his defender is fighting around the screen, this makes it harder to recover back to him. And also since Wemby has to be aware of giving up an easy look, this drop-off pass to Eubanks is available as well.
He can make that pocket pass.
Book knocked down 48% of his mid-range jumpers. I said, so this one right here is easy.
He's a player that will beat you with his shot rather than trying to force a pass, which is why I think it's such a good decision that the Suns finally got a point guard. Because I'm not gonna lie, these plays, the system looks smooth, but like I said, DB beats you with the shot rather than the pass. And I think he can beat you with the pass. We've seen him get 12 assists, but that is not a winning formula when you have such an elite scorer like Devin Booker. Let him be that elite scorer. Take the pressure off of him.
This movement off ball is highly effective.
Like I said,
even if it's as simple as sliding up the sideline when the defender is looking elsewhere, because this subtle movement makes passing angles easier for his teammates, in turn getting himself clean looks at the rim. Devin's off-ball movement is a major aspect to his game, but what's equally impressive is how this movement often
Right to the
positions him
elbow.
not only as a
So
scoring
beautiful.
threat, but also as a facilitator.
You cannot play drop coverage versus Devin Booker. And this is why he's also so effective, because, I mean, he'll get trapped and that's when he gets his assists. But playing drop coverage, he's not going to, you know, throw the pocket pass and hope that the rest of the team can make a play. Look at
What's
this.
equally impressive
Boom, get right to this elbow.
is how
Shield him off, let him roll, maybe set a screen for the Gortat screen, which is exactly what he does. But I'm going to just take this pull-up. I don't even need to go all the way.
But also as a facilitator. When he immediately pushes towards the paint off this catch, Booker can now kick it out to either
love the
corner
angles
as the
that he
defense is
takes.
all locked in on him. And with this defender right here deeper in the paint, this kick out to Watanabe is the better option to go to. With him attracting this much attention from the defense, it'll present open looks for his guys
Double
time
drag,
and time
so
again,
overpowered,
resulting in
bro.
more points added to the board. Let's look at this play right here. If
Double
Nurkic
drag,
were to
Spain pick and roll
quicker,
was the
then Booker would be able
Suns'
to drop
bread
it
and
off
butter
to him,
last
but
year.
since that doesn't
Bread and
happen,
butter.
Devin continues deeper in the middle of the floor, and now with Biombo fully
Like I
committed
said,
to him,
kill
it
drop
opens up
coverage.
another opportunity to feed
That's a
Nurkic
good
the
pass.
pass and set up an easy dunk.
He's
That
not-
right there
yeah,
is the
yeah.
level of patience you must
could've made that
have,
shot
as
too.
on this play you can see it a little deeper when Book comes out wide off the screen.
Chicago
He
action.
doesn't have any open looks on the floor yet, but by
Grayson
ball
Solon.
faking out to Allen on the three-point line, this
Yep.
makes both defenders shift that
Ooh,
way,
okay.
and now Eubanks
Like
can
fake
slam this
pass,
home.
good patience.
Hopefully you all can see that controlling your pace on the floor is important, because not only will it help you pull off these alley-oop connections when you allow for the screen to make full contact, but when you take your time and allow the big to
kill
roll
drop
while you
coverage,
attract
bro.
two, this makes the help
Ice
side
coverage.
defender sag in to tag the
Skip
roll man,
pass.
which in turn opens up the guy on the opposite side of the floor from you for the
Yeah,
three ball.
basically what happened right
Defender
here,
sag in to
they're going to play ice coverage. All right, so that means they're not going to let him use the screen. They're forcing him to this side, the baseline. You could always tell it's ice based on what the center is doing. If the center is lined up with this guard, then and he's forcing him here and they're leaving the center open, most of the time they could do this, right? And leave the center a free roll, which in my opinion versus Suns you got to do. They're cutting to occupy the weak side help, so that's why they have a tag guy. But now you got KD here and Darius gonna have to
tag the
rotate to
roll
him
man,
right. That
which in
ain't gonna
turn
work.
opens up the guy on the opposite side of the floor from you for the three ball. And then other times when the defense decides to shift on that low side as well, it now unlocks the opposite corner
Yeah.
swing. And this one right here is straight cash.
And that's the
I'll show
greatest,
you
that's
all
best
this so
shooter in the
you're aware
league,
that
bro.
D-Book can offer more than just
Grayson
a scoring
Allen.
presence on the court. But trust me, once he
Percentage-wise.
does get in his bag, well, this is where things can get quite scary. When he's feeling himself and in rhythm, there's really not much you can do to stop him, even if you are to crowd him with two defenders.
Oh my god, that shot's tough. Yeah, that shot's crazy.
If he needs to get crafty with that
He was
handle
just
to then
taking
get
that
a
'cause
defender on
they
a
were killing
trampoline,
him.
it's also in his bag.
Oh, he cooked this game. I remember that.
And although some people like to call him soft, Booker doesn't mind getting physical when getting to his spots and then display some patience before pulling up.
Stops, leans in, short jumper, got it.
Yeah, he's great. He's got really good close range.
Pretty much any way, shape, or form, Booker is going to get his buckets and won't be denied with getting to his desired area. You can see when he catches in the slot area, he's met with a double, so this pass to the corner is wide open. But Booker instead decides to put it on the floor to then throw it out in front to outbeat another potential double. And at this point, Booker is exactly where he wants to be.
Like I said, he's not a point guard. He can play point guard, but he's more effective at shooting guard. He could make that pass, but he could also beat the defense with a shot. So why not? Because then that's going to force the defense to be even more aggressive with their help.
But Keontae George is still right there. So here's where that up fake comes in handy to get George on that
Like I
trampoline,
said, put
and the
pressure
mid-range
on him.
bucket drops
Let
in.
him be a scorer.
For most guys, when they don't create any separation off the screen, they'll opt into a pass to either here or right here. But when D-Book has his mind set on scoring the ball, he won't be denied. So he spins back towards
Make the
Eubanks to
defense
run
be
Edwards
more
off the screen
aggressive.
once more, and now he's arrived at his spot for the bucket. Having that ability to
And I think it's just more important to realize what your role is needed. Like what role is needed from you. For example, if that's Chris Paul, he's making the pass to start the offense. If that's Devin Booker, he is going to keep, attacking that defense despite whatever coverage they're in. They could be in drop. He's not going to throw the pocket pass. He's going to be aggressive because he knows his role is to force the defense to double team him because he can get to his spots. And I think the Suns did not have the right role for him last year.
Navigate to your spots on the floor, even if the initial route gets cut off, is something every player needs to be able to do, because not every time you'll be able to come off the pick and roll and get right into that shot. So
like I said, you're gonna have a free roll on ice coverage.
Scan the floor,
Gortat screen. Great screen by Nurkic right there. It's all Nurkic right there.
This right here takes quick reaction timing along with some patience to allow plays to develop. And when you're dealing with guys like Devin Booker, this is a specialty he possesses.
Great jab.
The best time to analyze this is when Booker faces up on his opponents, as right here he spots his pass to a Kogi.
I just seen on Patreon that we were watching Jokic make this pass like nothing. Let's see what DB's gonna do.
Utilizing that ball fake to shut
like I said,
defense down.
DB's more of a scorer.
Opens up and uncover Royce.
That's a good fake pass.
And now Booker can quickly zip it over to him for the tray ball.
I like that. Good
patience. Other times Booker will stay calm and collected when getting into the triple threat position.
I was guarding him this play. I remember this,
back
bro.
When Booker feeds that jab, the jumper
he got me with that jab step.
For the defense, they need to be highly aware of every move they make when guarding D-Book, as here you can see the defender put too much weight on the outside, which allows for the drop to the middle to be initiated right away. And at this point, you just gave up a free one.
Corey Joseph played in the NBA last year.
Layaway buckets, because it may take a little bit of time to complete the mission,
cooking me, bro.
But eventually he'll get where he needs, and it all pays off.
Should have stayed down.
Unlike those layaway buckets, Booker can opt into the Hoop Mastery membership program, where he can get things at a discount.
Yeah.
Key example, at first the defense will be fully on him, which is what we like to call.
Bro, and see what I'm saying? Eric Gordon's playing point guard. Imagine this being Tyus Jones. Imagine this being Monte Morris. It's going to open up everything even more, which is why DB got them to the finals when they had Chris Paul.
The full price point.
And now you add pieces around that. That's why I said the Suns could be top 3 in the West.
To see it again, Scotty Barnes is right on Booker's hip in this situation. But the one thing he's not expecting is that physical contact when Booker makes his move. So now the jumper is wide open for nothing but net. These post-up situations grant Booker a lot of options, as he can catch and immediately flow into a jumper over the top. Or if he chooses to, he can muscle a defender all the way into the paint. And now this shot is way too easy. He likes that low post too on the block. I know some people like to call him soft and everything, but honestly,
high post, low post, don't matter, bro.
D-Book doesn't want
everything you want
that
for a
contact
2-guard
when making his move, and then when he's fouled,
just a straight ISO, no double team playing straight up.
Since he is one of those predictable players in terms of shot selection, he has to be able to make
snaked in and out, got the switch, one-on-one, step back at the elbow.
Here's where those off-arm and shoulder bumps come into play. Say a defender is in his way when he's pushing towards the basket. Well, the hezzy works in his favor, getting Jabbar's momentum leaning downhill heavy on the recover. So when D-Book gives that slight push, it sends Smith out the play, and the 15-footer is money. Once again, you can see Booker use a move to fry his defender, making them have to recover, but this time he decides to use that behind the back push off into a step back, and this one right here is just a warm-up jumper. Being able to have a strong enough handle is what allows Booker to set these plays up, because with his scoring being such a threat to the defense, they have no choice but to go all out on the recover. But like a toddler who's been playing all day, it's time to put him down for a nap so you can go get some work done. Not only does this physicality work when getting space for his shots, but when he's going inside, it helps him generate that contact first to put the defense in a tough situation, and now the N1 bucket is underway. Many people may not look at Booker as some amazing driver, but he's not scared of contact, which helps him convert tough buckets. And little do you know, he has this speed that allows him to blow past his initial defender, and when the help comes, he can show off his acrobatic nature with this up and under layup. Now I'm not.
Hey, he don't even have to really attack the rim. Number one, risk injury. Number two, he's so good at pulling up. Why not pull up?
Saying that Booker moves on the court like De'Aaron Fox or anything,
unless they're shielding him.
How to set himself up perfectly by calling for a screen, which pulls the big out the paint, opening up a free runway, and now he can tune up those rollerblades to skate past Bridges to the cup.
That's bad
Defenses may not think he's a major threat when it comes to speed, but when you allow him to get ahead of steam in the open court, it does you no good, as one move will give him the advantage, and now he's laying it in right past you. Coming up the floor here, not only does he have Jaden McDaniels hounding him, but in his route he has two other defenders who could potentially cause a hazard. So with that subtle burst of speed, he can get all the way to the left side of the rim and place this off the glass.
That's why KD on the wing is so effective.
All it takes is one move.
The Suns are a coach's dream, and Vogel fumbled it, bro. But at the same time, I don't put all the blame on Vogel. I put the blame on the front office for not getting a PG. The roster,
and now
I was missing one key piece.
For 2 points.
They got
There's many ways Booker can use that speed to get to the
Coach
rack.
Bud's got a dream right now.
If he doesn't decide to go all the way in, once he feels that contact, he's crafty enough to go right up, and now he's got the bucket plus one more at the line. I totally understand that Booker isn't looked at as someone who can put pressure on the defense when driving the ball, but when you break down the layers to his game, this adds in yet another reason as to why he's elite on the offensive side. When you think of Booker, you don't tend to think about him slashing to the rack, but he does have that ability to tie together a handle to then spin off the defender to convert in close. He can all out cook the defense with the hezzy to then coast inside. And please don't allow the bigs to switch onto him or else he'll exploit the mismatch and a quickness. This all plays right into his shot creation.
That was also
as off this double high screen, Booker gets switched on to Tillman. And as you can see,
Tillman's a great perimeter defender for a center.
It takes is a hang dribble into an attack downhill to get Tillman leaning. And at this point, Booker is already locked in. So the contest really doesn't matter.
That's so crazy. Big man on him. Hezzy. I got first step. You always have a first step on a center because you're faster than him. So the center's going to try to recover sharply. Take that cutoff lane. Pull up is what beats that every time. Still got back. Don't matter.
The main reason this switch action is so detrimental is because bigs will tend to give themselves space so they can counter the attack. But when giving up this amount of distance from a confident shooter, you might as well chalk up 3 points.
As he pull,
you can notice here that Dario.
I want to see him get more consistent from the 3-point line, bro.
If he decides to drive, but
I want to see 40% this year, 38%.
Ample amount of room for D-Book to rise up easily. And this right here is a jumper he would practice in open gym. Ultimately, the defense will want to be ready and not allow the switch to happen because bigs tend to bite the hardest on these moves and give up the open shot. Say guys choose to chase over the top of the screen and stay attached, well Booker only needs that small amount of space to pull it right over the top.
God,
like I'm being serious. Booker will come off these high pick and rolls, notice the help getting ready to step up, and with his man right on his side, Devin will let it fly from 25 feet with no problem.
That's why he don't shoot a good percentage. These are very difficult shots, bro. Very difficult.
It's bad enough that you allow him to get space to operate in, but even if you're to make him work harder for his looks, it's still a mini game you have to play when guarding
got in his bag.
Now it's not a super high complex game like Call of Duty, as it's more like you're playing Connect 4 when matched up with him. 1 or 2 moves can lose you the whole entire game, and it'll all look so simple when he's out there cooking. When pushing towards the middle versus Miami right here, Rozier assumes Jimmy is sliding in for the double, so he's shading Booker heavy towards the middle, but with D-Book aware of this, he just stops on the dime while Rozier tries to stop his momentum, and
Rozier, Book went before he got set.
Booker's ability to stop on a dime and rise up perfectly straight up and down is what makes his mechanics look so smooth.
Not anymore.
And if the defense arrives too late and fouls him, well this one ends in an and one. Most guys in the league don't have this amazing body control to stay straight up and down, let alone stop abruptly like this. So that's why you see defenders still moving while D-Book is knocking it down.
Every time.
Now all of his scoring can be done in the most simple way possible, but if needed, D-Book can get crafty with these sidestep bounce out to get the space needed for an easy pull up. When pushing downhill,
all I have noticed from this video, you can't play drop coverage versus Devin Booker because he will torch you. But you know what the problem is? You have to play drop coverage versus the Phoenix Suns because of Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, Grayson Allen on the wings. You can't play anything else other than drop coverage against this team because you cannot blitz because boom, open shooters. You're going to have to help from the weak side, open shooters. It don't matter, late contest. You can't double because guess what? Swing the ball, open shooter. And that is the danger of the Phoenix Suns. The biggest danger is you have to play one defense versus them because the other ones will not work. But I think the reason Phoenix didn't live up to their potential is because they wanted Devin Booker to be a facilitator rather than a scorer. And he can. He showed he was a great facilitator last year when he needed to be.
He can spot the help coming over to stop the drive.
But I think adding a point guard
by spinning away
will force teams to put him in and drop.
And when he's just deep
they're only going to be able to play drop against
that combo handle to get it all started
or switch
through the legs for the mid-range butterball. Honestly, there's a multitude of ways Devin Booker can score on the floor, and from a 2-guard,
NBA
this is
changing.
Exactly what you want. He's
not
someone that really
we're seeing a lot more switch coverage in the NBA. That might be another thing that to be useful against the Suns. Switch and make them play iso ball the whole game. We saw that was a recipe for success for the Boston Celtics versus the Dallas Mavericks. That's the only other defense. I think we're going to see a lot of switch defense this year, which means a lot of high-scoring games for some of these guys.
Pretty much mastered their craft. Devin Booker is one of those guys you have to mention. If you enjoyed this video,
highlights
be
and
sure to
clips.
drop a like.
Hey, shout out to Hoop Mastery. That was a W video. Let me know what you guys think about the Phoenix Suns going into next season. What are your guys' expectations? Like I said, I expect them to come fourth. I got Dallas, Minnesota, and OKC top 3. That was not the order. You have to watch my standings video for that. But I originally had the Nuggets at 4, but I think after getting a point guard in Tyus Jones, Suns could be 4, and they honestly could be top 3. They could push any of those teams out. And if they have the right system this year, I believe they could win the championship. Biggest question for the Phoenix Suns is defense. So are you guys worried about that? What are you guys confident about? I'm interested to know how Suns fans are feeling. So leave your voice down below in the comments. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe button. Go check out Patreon, man. It's ZTAY. Peace.